Cowboys win over the Chargers, racking up over 100 yards on the ground, and many are now calling for Dallas to continue to use the combination of Pollard and Zeke out of the backfield. Jerry Jones said on his weekly radio interview that having the two backs is, quote, an outstanding situation because Pollard surprised the defense with his speed, and Zeke, quote, punishes the hell out of those defenders. So, Shannon, is this 1-2 punch underrated or overrated?
Well, Skip, I think the thing is that I think they're rated just fine. I don't believe they're not Kareem Hunt and Bradley and Chubb. Not Bradley Chubb, but you know, Nick Chubb.
Bradley Chubb's got issues.
But they're not Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Right.
I don't think they're that duo, but I think they're a very solid duo, Skip. And I agree with Jerry. Skip, when you have a duo, you need to have a contrast. If we go back and look at duos from Rocky Bleier and Franco Harris to Mercury Morris and Larry Zonk, you throw Jim Kick in there, Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs more currently. Skip, there needs to be a contrast. You can't have two of the same two power guys or two speed guys. One guy's electricity, the other guy's thunder, more power. That's how Zeke runs. Zeke punish you. And now all of a sudden you bring a fresh guy in there. You're only going to give him X amount of carries, Skip. And I know everybody's saying, man, he had 9 carries for $113. Just imagine what happened if you get him 20 carries. You get him broke up, beat down, because his body's not for that. It's perfect. Give him 8, 9, 10 carries. Throw him another 2 to 3 passes. So that's somewhere, 12, 13, 14 plays per game. They'll continue to be explosive while allowing Zeke to punish the defense, wear them down, and now all of a sudden they're tired, and here come Tony Pollard. I was going to say Mike.
It's okay.
Tony.
You'll get it right because he's going to force you to get it right.
Yeah, so I just think the thing is they're doing a great job, and I don't think they stumbled on this, Skip. I think they knew, they can see. The data shows them, the numbers showed them that Zeke is not the same guy. 2016, 17, 18 Zeke is not the same guy in 2021. We got a guy that can lighten some of the load, that can give us some of the explosiveness that Zeke's used to give us. Skip, there are very few guys that are what we call bell cow backs anymore. You get C-Mac in Carolina. You get a Dalvin Cook. You get a big Derrick Henry. But for the most part, everybody runs a two-back system. So Dallas,
and when you get to San Francisco and Baltimore, they run like 10-back systems, right?
They do.
You just keep putting in another one.
This system is so good it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You be down to your 7th back, and he's getting 85, 90 yards like he's the number 1 back.
I got it.
So I do agree with Jerry. I think this is a great situation. They stumbled on a great situation, but I don't think they stumbled on it. I think they saw the data was telling them. And what Skip, these guys are really smart. They use data. They don't just use analytics to say, should we go for 2, Skip, or do we punt the ball in this situation? They use data on their own players. And when they look at the numbers and they look at Zeke's numbers and they look at the amount of carries, they say he would be better in a system like this as a split back guy as opposed to being the bell cow. So we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone while maximizing every guy's ability.
I'm shocked at your answer. I thought you would scream overrated across the table. Because you've told me Zeke is in decline. He will never bounce back to what he was the first 3 years in this league. And you have repeatedly told me that Mike Pollard is overrated because he's not that consistent, that he has a flash here, a burst there, but over time he cannot be a bell cow.
Right. But did you use him like this? Because, Skip, you and I both know if they thought, how many times did Smith split carries?
Okay. I got a better one for you. If I go back to 1986 with my Dallas Cowboys, they brought in Herschel Walker and decided, oh, we can have a dynamic duo with him and Tony Dorsett? No, Tony's not going to sit still for this, nor should he.
No.
Because you can't have 2 superstars at one position, okay? But now, this is why I'm about to explain to you, and I think your heart is telling you we're heading in this direction. My new dynamic duo is dramatically underrated because it is right on time with the emergence, the maturity level of Tony Pollard, don't call me Mike Pollard, and Zeke bouncing back from what he used to be to what he can be right now, which is no longer the Zeke, the Ohio State Zeke.
So you agree with me on that one?
I only agree with you this much. He did recommit to his overall body shape. He got himself in very new and different shape. He lost his double chin. He says he got a nutritionist.
Got it.
So all of a sudden, I'm seeing a new commitment for a guy who got humbled beyond belief last year because he averaged 65 yards a game.
Right.
So right on time, Tony is emerging while Zeke is accepting where he is at this point in his 6th season, where I can still be that guy. Can he not punish? Jerry is not exaggerating when he said, can he punish defense? Right. He can take it out. He can take pounds of flesh.
Right.
If we could quickly see just his touchdown run the other day, I think he's hard to tackle when he gets going down a hill because he has still got warrior mentality.
Well,
that's just crashing through people. Does anybody in this league have better body lean than Zeke going downhill?
But look at Skip. Look at Zach Martin. Zach Martin.
Okay,
why Zach Martin guard? He got his guy on his back.
Bulldozer.
Look at Zach.
Listen, he's a Hall of Famer.
I can run it. I can
okay,
score
but
that
what do I tell you? Zeke behind Zach, right? Okay, but there were a couple of third downs the other day where he just crashed through the line because he will not spare his body. He will not protect. He's got warrior mentality.
Yes.
I'm seeing a little quicker Zeke. I don't see a faster Zeke.
Right.
I don't see open field make you miss Zeke anymore, and I don't think we'll ever see that. But can he punish a defense to the point where they start getting tired in the 4th quarter of having to deal with him?
Right.
Yes, they can.
And then you bring the little speedy guy in.
Then the speedy guy, I need to see 50% of the speed. I need to see 50-50 snaps because there are a couple of indications, a couple of places at Tampa, what happened on the 3rd and 1, the toss play, if we could see it, where I like my odds here. I've got my bell cow back in the open field against a 3rd-string practice squatter, and he couldn't make him miss, and he couldn't beat him to the pylon.
But, Skip, you do realize that every time people see Mike, the thing that you have to your advantage is that when I see him in the ball game, I'm thinking pass.
Okay. Thinking with
Tony Pollard.
With Tony Pollard.
Yes.
Okay, remember, Tony Pollard at Memphis, I watched him a lot.
Yeah.
He was more of a receiver than a running back.
Right.
Okay, so that's an untapped resource. We're tip of iceberg with him because he can flat out catch it. And I would not mind seeing occasional dynamic duo, Thunder and Lightning, line up together in the backfield because you're going to make them guess what are you going to do to us?
Right.
Because don't underestimate Zeke on key plays can still get out of the backfield. Remember the 3rd down?
Yes,
this is the play of the game, 3rd and 4. If we could see it at Chargers. This is it. This is for all the marbles. And guess who Dak trusted the most to throw it to? And I know it's not a sophisticated route. It's just that I trust him to get open in the flat, and I trust him to catch it, and I trust him to run over whoever's in his way to get to the stake.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so I've seen that a lot. We still haven't seen Tony Pollard get exploited as a dynamic pass catcher out of the back or line him up in the slot occasionally. Because
they anticipate that he's going to catch the ball, so they normally bring the nickel or the dime defense on the field when he's in the backfield, Skip.
So I classically have Thunder and Lightning. I have Zeke at the point of his career where he won't balk, he won't make waves at sharing snaps with Tony Pollard. In fact, he may welcome it because he's giving up, he's sacrificing his body, what's left of it, dying, quote unquote, for the cause. And why not take a few snaps off to rest up a little bit and save yourself for being able to hammer away in the 4th quarter until they say no mas on defense.
Skip, I totally agree. But I think the thing is that they realize that Zeke is not what Zeke once was. And the best way to maintain and still get value from him is to put him in a sharing role. Let Tony Pollard get 12, 13 carries. Let Zeke, instead of giving Zeke 25, 30 carries, Skip, maybe we give him 15, 17. We're still going to run the ball 30-plus times, but it's going to be between 2 guys as opposed to 1 guy.
If you had tossed that play, that 3rd and 1 play at Tampa to Tony Pollard, he waltzes to the pylon. To me, he's got extreme burst.
Oh, he does.
If you had Tony Pollard in the game on the quote-unquote Hail Mary at the end of the half at Chargers, if we'd see it real quick, you throw it to CD and you've got who's trailing him? Zeke. Well, he can't run anymore the way he used to run. If this is Tony Pollard, this guy can run with the ball, but he gets loose and now he tosses it to Zeke, who can no longer take it to the pylon. Tony Pollard might win that race to that to the pylon, right?
I don't know. It'd been close. Derrick Jones was coming. He raced him to the point. It'd been good, but Skip, also, but you got to also understand now, in the passing situation, that guy's going to have to block also.
Okay.
Do you believe Tony Pollard going to stick his nose in there like Zeke?
I do not, because Zeke is simply the best at blitz pickup I've seen, and he flat out cold stoned Devin White a couple of times at Tampa.
Exactly.
Okay, so he will pay dividends that way. He will earn his best running back salary that way.
Yes.
Okay.
But he's still there's a role that he can play.
Yep.
It's not the bell cow role that he once played, but he can still play a significant role, still give you value. But Tony Pollard, but I think moving forward, the best way for the Cowboys to maximize their running game is to have both of these guys do it.
I think you just agreed with me. We have a dynamic duo.
I don't know about no dynamic.
Dynamic
duo.
duo.
I don't know about dynamic.
We got a underrated duo. Thank you for concurring.
Okay.
We'll be watching them, guys, as Tom Brady about to break his most impressive record yet. We'll tell you what it is. Always something new next.